trans drag queen has decided to call out JK Rowling, and his argument is going viral. He says that JK Rowling actually kinda sorta transitioned. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Yes, today we're talking about JK Rowling, my homegirl, who's holding it down for the movement that men are men and women are women. And JK Rowling was recently called out by a trans drag queen by the name of Jinkx Monsoon. Now, I guess Jinkx Monsoon is best known for appearing on RuPaul's Drag Race, as well as playing Mary Todd right now in a Broadway show in New York City. Now, Jinkx Monsoon, this drag queen, was recently on Z-Way's show, and Z-Way is a pretty notable leftist, at least among young people, and JK Rowling was brought up, and this is what Jinkx Monsoon had to say.
Would JK Rowling make a good Roxy Hart in Chicago?
Who is this? Who is he? JK Rowling.
He is a she.
Oh dear, that is not a feminine name in the slightest. You know, I know that oftentimes female authors use initials so that people assume it's a male writer. So I have to presume that J.K. Rowling was unsatisfied with the way that the world saw her, and then she transitioned herself into a new personality so that the world would perceive her the way she wanted to be perceived.
Gagging.
Okay. So there you have it, there's the clip, and you can just smell the condescension coming off of these two individuals through the screen, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and address the argument. Now they're saying Joanne Rowling went by JK. She wanted to be perceived as male. She was unsatisfied with her female nature and thus transitioned in order to be in a better place for herself and her identity in the world. And if you're at a very basic level trying to argue for leftism, you might get away with this. And the trans community and allies of the transgender community are sharing this video like crazy, saying, "Clock it, you got JK Rowling, this is such an amazing argument," and we'll explain why it's not. Now, is it true that JK Rowling's name is Joanne Rowling, and on her books it says JK? Absolutely. Now, why did this happen? Because publishers told JK, you know what? It'd be better if you put JK Rowling on these books rather than Joanne, because young boys might not want to buy a book with the name Joanne Rowling on it. So maybe we just put JK, and that will usher in success for your Harry Potter series. Now, we have no way of knowing what would have been more successful, Joanne or JK, because all we got is JK. But this is not an argument for the transgender identity. Actually, what happened is Joanne Rowling had to be stripped of a bit of her identity in order for her book to be successful. We've seen this with other female writers in the past, most notably, at least in my brain, being The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. A lot of us had to read that book in school. Now, S.E. Hinton is actually Susan Eloise Hinton. But on her book, she has her initials and her last name because they thought, hey, boys and men might not want to buy a book by Susan Eloise. And of course, you have male writers who also do this with their initials. You have C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, George R.R. Martin, who was influenced by J.R.R. So this goes on and on in the world of writing and authorship. So this argument already falls flat for me on that very basis. But let's look at it from a different perspective. If Joanne Rowling is going by JK Rowling on her book in order to not have a male audience reject her, could we not see that as an extension of misogyny and sexism? A female writer who has written something that remains the same, no matter whose name is on it, changes to initials in order to get buy-in from a male audience. And we all know how successful Harry Potter is amongst men and boys. So essentially, Joanne Rowling had to strip away a bit of her actual female identity in order for this book to be successful. Susan Eloise had to do the same with The Outsiders, and we all know how successful The Outsiders is, much like Harry Potter. Joanne Rowling and Susan Eloise Hinton were told that essentially just being what you are is not enough. We're gonna have to move things around a little bit to make sure that we have audience buy-in. Now, whether or not those publishers are correct or incorrect in that assumption, the assumption was made and the initials on the book were placed. This is not these two writers demanding to be perceived as men or even wanting to be perceived as men. It is a strategic tactic in the author space to get your book bought. Meanwhile, in this video, we have a man who is demanding to be treated like a woman, to take on female pronouns and to take on their male idea of what womanhood is, telling JK Rowling that she is transitioning. Oh, the irony. So you have something that is arguably an extension of sexism and misogyny in the writer space. What you've written as a woman is good, but let's put initials on it and hopefully people will buy it. And then you have this transgender individual who is arguing on behalf of the trans movement, which again is an extension of sexism and misogyny, telling that woman that she is transitioning. Make it make sense. It is just another level of delusion to be a biological male, say that you are a woman, demand to be treated like a woman, demand to take on female pronouns, and then to look at an actual biological woman, a woman in JK Rowling, and then treat her as if she is the one who is socially or culturally transitioning, and then to laugh at her and say that you've gagged her by comparing her to the trans community. Ooh, wow. And still, Jinkx Monsoon is posting things after this clip has gone viral, referring to JK Rowling as JK Rowling, as if that's some sort of a male name that Joanne has taken on as she's written these Harry Potter books and stamped those initials on them. Guys, the argument could not be worse. Now, if you're a supporter of the trans movement and trans ideology and you hear this argument, you might think, oh my God, clocked her, gagged her. This is exactly what JK Rowling needs to hear. But in reality, it's not a good argument whatsoever. You haven't clocked her. You haven't gagged her. You've done nothing. No, not nothing. And I'm not one to typically argue about misogyny and sexism, but you've pointed out in this video a possible extension of sexism and misogyny within the writing space and with your very identity. You are pushing forward an extension of sexism and misogyny. Clock it. Okay, guys, those are my thoughts on this whole Jinkx Monsoon, JK Rowling thing. Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, if you disagree with anything I said in this video, duke it out, but do so respectfully. I encourage healthy debate on this channel. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for you guys, which is every day. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.